Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you in the city of East Cleveland. I want to thank Mayor Sandra Morgan. Thank you for your hospitality here today in the city of East Cleveland. And I hope everybody's doing well. I want to thank the members of the press who are with us today and so many friends out here in the audience that are here to work with us in Cuyahoga County to end violence in our community. And that's what we're here today to talk about, getting action. Again, I'm Ronayne, and I'm glad to be with you as your Cuyahoga County executive. And I see a number of persons in my throat. We're going to introduce many that are in front of you in a minute. But I want to thank Council President Dale Miller for being here, Councilman Michael Hauser, who's here. I see Councilwoman Meredith Turner. I see Judge Brendan Sheehan. I see Mayor, we have Michael Brennan. I see Mayor Matt Burke. I see Councilman Richard Starr. I'm looking for other elected officials. Raise your hands because I get in trouble. Hello, Pat Blahoviak. Nice to see you all. Would everybody who's an elected official please just stand up, especially our team from East Cleveland. Thank you. Thank you. All right. If my eyes deceive me, this is your public sector partnership, and I just want to say to thank you all. I have to give a quick shout out to a man I see out in the audience. It's Kevin Clayton. You've been on this all the way through, and Kevin, thank you. Working for the Cleveland Cavaliers, but somebody that his day job is with the Cavs, but his everyday job is with our community, and thank you for all you do. So without missing anybody else, I want to thank everybody in every row for all you do to work with us in this community to end violence in our community here in Cuyahoga County. We are all one family. We are together in this journey, and any violent action is one too many. I see Sonia Pryor-Jones here representing Mayor Justin Bibb today. Thank you. And Nathaniel Martin, thank you for being here. My executive team, our public safety director, Brandy Carney, is with me today. If you give a quick wave, Brandy, thank you for being here today. And to all law enforcement in the House, thank you for answering the call to serve and to protect. May we give our men and women in badges a big thank you. See so many of you out here today. See our county sheriff's team, our municipal law enforcement, everybody out here that helps bridge those gaps. I see Simeon Best, who's with our Office of Community Reentry. As often we hear in the community reentry world from our returning citizens, look, I need a second chance, but sometimes I didn't get a first chance, right? And trying to help persons productively return to community and be a part of this community as a part of our family. I appreciate what you do in community reentry. And then again, to all community members, your voices, your lived experiences, your resilience have shaped this effort. I cannot tell you how many times I have run into a resident from the 1.2 million persons we serve in Cuyahoga County who has lost a loved one to violence or has seen a loved one's life significantly altered by violence. And I say to you, we are with you, and that's why we are here today. Violence is too pervasive in our community, and some of you have lost members of your family to significant violence and gun violence, and that's why we're here today. So to the families of the victims and to the survivors of violence and to their families, if you are able and willing here today, I ask you to please stand. If you've encountered violence and if you have lost loved ones or survivors in your family, give them a heartfelt applause, please. Thank you. Thank you. You again are why we are here. Some of you have formed a coalition around what we're about to speak to today, but some of you just every day in your everyday lives have felt the violence. And I see Al Grimes, I thank you for what you do with the Fatherhood Initiative. We're all out here, Yvonne, we're all out here in our lived experiences to help people get a better path. So thank you all for being here. Your pain has moved us to act, and your strength inspires us to do better. This is a two-part program today. We're going to make a major announcement from Cuyahoga County, but we're also going to work with our mayors and our nonprofit organizations who are going to talk about alternatives to violence in their communities, things we can do for our kids, for our young people, and for all of our residents that are diversions to violence and are things that are offering positive opportunities in community. But first, I want to announce the first part of our press conference today, and it is this. I am proud with the partners in these rows to announce the creation of the Cuyahoga County Office of Violence Prevention. Please give that an applause. It is in response to you. It is in response. I see many of the moms who demand action in your t-shirts out here today. I thank you for your advocacy to end gun violence in our community, but it is a response to a community who wants to step up and act, and the county needs to act with you. The office will bring community leaders, public health experts, youth advocates, and safety partners together with one purpose: to stop violence before it starts in our community. We all know that violence is not just a law enforcement issue. It's often the last line, right? Even though they are on the front line, it starts upstream in community. It is a public health crisis. I know Richard Starr knows that. We've talked about that. I know Michael Hauser knows that. We've talked about that. This declaration that gun violence is a public health crisis. It is. And like any crisis, it demands a coordinated, compassionate, and long-term response. Too many families in our county have experienced the trauma of violence. They are here. You have met them. Whether it's gun violence, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's community conflict. And the truth is, it doesn't just affect victims. It also impacts entire neighborhoods and generations, and certainly family members. If we are serious about ending violence, we need a serious and sustained and community-driven response. That's why we are creating today the Office of Violence Prevention. And I do want to thank my partners in County Council, because it takes our village at the county to pull this together, and also our judges. We appreciate you. Thank you. Also today, we launched a search for a Violence Prevention Administrator, our VPA. That will be our VIP in charge. The person will lead this effort with vision, with compassion, and a deep commitment to partnership. We're taking names to help fill this position. Our ideal candidate will understand that real safety comes not just from enforcement, but from opportunity and connection, which is the second part of our discussion today. We're starting this office now because we know summer is a critical time. We often see spikes in violence during warmer months, especially when young people are out of school and looking for something to do. They need alternatives. It's what you want for every child in your community. It's what you want for your kid and your grandkid. That's why we've also brought together many of our partners today to share resources and programs that will help keep kids safe and engaged this summer. We've got to be intentional about it. We're not here to reinvent any wheels. We're here to bring the wheels together, to connect what's already working and make sure the entire community knows what's available. And I want to say that to you, those of you who run nonprofits, those of you who have been at this for years. This is not to be in any way a redundant move for what you do. It is a collaborative move to show that your work matters. Please give those who've been working at this in this community, your work matters. And we will be bringing together with you a central point person to work in this network of people who care in this community. From youth jobs and recreational programs to mentoring and mental health services, we want families to know you're not alone. You're not alone. We're all one family, and hope is here. We're here as a community to help lean in on the issues of community violence. We are doing this because every child in Cuyahoga County deserves to grow up without fear. Every family deserves a safe street to walk on, a safe park to play in, and a community that cares enough to act, and that's what we are doing today. There's a lot of talk about a lot of community issues out there, but nothing matters more than your community safety. And this is just the beginning. The Office of Violence Prevention is just one step, but I know we can make a difference with your partnership. I'd be remiss if I didn't, as I'm looking out to moms in red t-shirts who demand action. We all do. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that June 6th is National Gun Violence Awareness Month. I wear the orange tie in honor of that today. Wear your orange on June 6th and let them know, using the Cavs line, let them know. Let them know that we care and that we're going to do better. We're going to do better by our kids. I just came from a country where every person, it was Denmark, every person had 2 bikes per person. In this country, we're nearing every person having 2 guns. I think over 1.2 guns per person in this country. And if you look at the statistics, it's staggering. We lose more than 25 kids a day in this world. In the time of this press conference, we'll lose 3 more people because of gun violence. We've got to lean in against it. And my partners have said it is gun violence, but it's other forms of violence. And that's why we're naming the office specifically the Office of Violence Prevention, because it's other things, and you've said that to us. It's terrible acts that never needed to happen if the community had its eyes open and opportunities for kids in our communities. And that's why the second half of this is the hopeful part of this. It's about opportunities in communities to do things differently. And each of the speakers are going to bring to you what they're doing in their communities and what they've got planned for their summers. And we appreciate the press taking note of that. It's great to be here in the city of East Cleveland. My last meeting of the day yesterday was with Mayor Sandra Morgan, and my first meeting of the day is with Mayor Sandra Morgan again. I want to acknowledge your support for the Office of Violence Prevention, and I want you to speak a little bit about what it means for your great city, and I appreciate your tireless efforts that you've taken on as the new mayor along with your council here in East Cleveland. Thank you. And on the agenda, I skipped Michael Hauser, who is now the new district council person for this district here for Cuyahoga County. He's been around the block with us before. He's been, from the beginning on your campaign, a tireless advocate for what we're about today. So, Councilman Hauser.
Good morning. I want to thank you all for being here today. Before I get started, I want to thank Council President Dale Miller, Yvonne Conwell, Meredith Turner, and entire County Council for their support. I also want to acknowledge Sabrina Roberts, Brendan Doyle, and Rick Maniloff. It's truly been a pleasure working with the county executive team. I think when we work across districts, across communities, is how we really get things done for our county. You know, the idea for this office has been circulating for a while now. And so I don't want to take too much credit, but for me, it was kind of equivalent to having a vehicle, but you still needed gas to get to your finish line. And so that gas kind of game last year, right here in East Cleveland, we had a horrific event near Shaw High School. 6 people were shot. And that day, I made a public declaration that I will push as county councilman for an office of violence prevention. I named it Office of Violence Prevention. And so the county executive, to his credit, called me the very next morning and said, you know, Michael, we've been thinking about this for a while, but I believe that your input, your leadership will be invaluable to bringing this across the finish line. And so let me be clear, this office did not happen by accident. It happened because we chose to act. We listened to many leaders, locally, nationally. We had a bold vision, and it became a reality. Cuyahoga County Office of Violence Prevention is a statement. It is a commitment. It is a promise to our residents that violence will not be accepted. The numbers tell a very telling story. In 2022, Cuyahoga County had the highest rate of gun violence-related homicides in the state, more than double Ohio's average. Last year alone, our medical examiners here reported 272 violent deaths involving firearms in our county. Behind every number, there is a name, there is a story. My district is no exception. And so in Cleveland Heights, Edna Moore, a 74-year-old grandmother was killed in her home, a place that should have been her sanctuary. Right here in East Cleveland, 15-year-old Alex Holloway was shot in his jaw, I do believe. His future, his dreams, his goals ended much too soon. Violence does not care about your zip code, your age, believe it or not, does not care about your race. And so that's why when our community demanded action, the county stood up, finally, stood up and did more. It's one of the reasons I ran for office. It's one of the reasons I stood with Cleveland City Council when they declared gun violence as a public health crisis. I want to thank Councilman Richard Starr, City of Cleveland. You guys are vital partners. We're going to need everybody, but this is not just a city issue. This is a county-wide issue, and so from impact to icons and all of the peacemakers in between, we are going to need all hands on deck. Violence is a public health emergency, a neighborhood sustainability challenge, and one of the most pressing human rights crises of our time. But I believe we can reduce violence. We can save lives. We owe that to Edna. We owe that to Alex. We owe that to every life that we have a chance to save. And so, again, I just thank you. This is our moment. This is our time. And God bless.
Thank you, Councilman Hauser, for stepping up and stepping right in. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Sandra Morgan. I think we need to reflect just on the facility that we're here in at the Martin Luther King Jr. Civic Center. I want to acknowledge the facilities manager we met on the way in, and just look at this place. This is the alternative, right? On the courts, in the weight room, a place that cares. I see some goals over there for soccer and other things. This is an inspiring place unto itself. But tell us more, Mayor Morgan, and thank you, Council, for what you're doing here in East Cleveland.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. And thank you so much for joining us here in the Martin Luther King Jr. Civic Center in East Cleveland, recently opened to a great reception by our citizens and other members of the community. I'd like to thank County Executive Chris Ronayne for choosing our facility to host this really important conference and to share everything that's going to be happening throughout Cuyahoga County with regard to the violence prevention program. I'd like to also recognize the mayors throughout, from Euclid, from Parma, from every other city that is represented here, our county council members, our members of the East Cleveland City Council, and all other luminaries and guests here to East Cleveland. It's an extremely proud day for me to host you all here for this really important occasion. You know, I want to share with you, first of all, that my belief is that East Cleveland is facing a new day. You know what? Our face is facing the sun and the wind is at our back. And a part of that is because we are being so thoughtful about how we are approaching you know, issues around violence in our community. There are a number of organizations here in East Cleveland focused on violence prevention, whether it is domestic violence, childhood violence, you know, the issues that make these, you know, these, well, the programs and organizations that address the issues that directly affect violence in our community. And also, of course, as you stated, the kind of the front line and the back line are law enforcement officers, which are the best in the county, in my opinion. They are just fantastic. So as such, in the past several weeks that I've been in office, we've defined plans that both leverage our current resources to raise safety in our community, to make people feel safer, and also to kind of change the perception of our city and what's happening here. Right? So, number one, we are engaging with our business community to make them, quite honestly, you know, more accountable as good citizens in our community, to serve as welcoming places for citizens, especially our youth, to make sure that they have safe spaces to go to no matter where they are throughout the community. And a part of that, then, is making sure that we eliminate you know, elements that might not be conducive to that. So eliminating loitering, making sure that you know, there's no disruptive behavior around their facilities, and making sure that they're clean, well landscaped, and welcoming places, not only to youth, but to everyone in our community, right? And that these are resources that can be utilized if someone's in trouble, they should feel comfortable going into any one of our businesses and asking for basic help. Why not? Yes? So I think that that's really, really important. Also, eliminating blind spots and potentially dangerous areas around their businesses. Again, to make sure that places in East Cleveland are open and welcoming to people. We are, you know, again, working with our police and others here, you know, asking them to coordinate efforts with CMHA, you know, with RTA and others, UCI, in order to make sure, again, that we're coordinated in our efforts, coordinated patrolling, making sure that people who are out and about see them and are comforted by their, hopefully comforted by their presence, and also resources for them if they find themselves in trouble, and that sort of thing. Also empowering our citizens, making sure that our citizens, intergenerational, whether they're seniors or they're students, speak up, speak their truth, and seek the help and the support that they need. I know that there are many of our citizens that are in pain. They're either physically in pain, emotionally in pain, or they simply are kind of at the end of their ropes. They don't know where to seek help. And they're, for us, providing them with, I won't say lists, but letting them know that there are resources available in our community and people who are willing to help. And I think is going to help them. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time up here. But also providing opportunities for our youth, like this fabulous MLK Civic Center. This is a place that I think will be both a refuge and a blessing to intergenerational activities here. So students can come in, they will enjoy all kinds of activities, everything from athletic programs, basketball camps, football camps, PAL, all sorts of things that'll be going on here. We're not going to allow little kids to lift weights, but they're, for the older students, they can do that. It's a place for gathering and a place for camaraderie and fun for students, also for learning. There'll be a number of classes held here with partnerships with the Cleveland Art Museum and other museums and organizations, fine arts and otherwise, throughout the community for students here. Or if they just feel like relaxing and grabbing lunch or a snack, a free lunch that is, or a snack, and enjoying it outside in the yard, they can do that too. All the same, this is a great opportunity and a great resource for young people. We'll have silver sneakers here, so for our seniors, they'll have an opportunity to come and also enjoy the Civic Center and have fun. I was here a few days ago when we were doing a site visit in order to get set up for this program, and it was remarkable the number of people that were here exercising, chatting, enjoying themselves. Really, it is truly a gathering center, and it made my heart very happy and filled me with pride that people are here enjoying this center. And I know that this will be a great place for all of our community, but particularly for our youth this summer. Lastly, I'd like to just say that I really applaud Cuyahoga County and the efforts that they're making in pulling this together, and the various organizations that will be participating in this program. East Cleveland is full of very compassionate hearts, lots of organizations that are willing to help. And I hope that we will, through this program, be able to work together in order to reach out to our community and make sure that everyone feels safe, comforted, and encouraged throughout our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Morgan, and thank you, members of council. Thanks for hosting us in this beautiful facility today. Just down the road is Mayor Kirsten Holzheimer Gail of Euclid. She's been a longtime mayor there, and she's got a few things to say about opportunities in Euclid. We're trying to spread it around the county a little bit. Mayor Gail. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Kirsten Gail. I have the great honor to serve the city of Euclid as its mayor, and I'm proud to stand here, and I want to applaud Cuyahoga County for this initiative. Safety is a top priority for us in Euclid. I know it's a top priority for all of you and every community across our county. And it's critical that we look beyond our own city borders and work together to get at the root causes and prevent violence. We look forward to partnering with the county on this Office of Violence Prevention and look forward to this important initiative. In Euclid, we have several initiatives that we're currently undertaking and several in planning. I would be remiss because of the shout outs that we've heard. I saw a couple of Euclid residents, Angela and LaRon Douglas from Renounce Denounce and Hank Davis from Icons. Euclid residents, and I think if you know them, experts in this field. So, and I'm sorry if there's other Euclid organizations here I did not get to see, but we have some strong efforts happening in Euclid and beyond, and we're really thrilled to be a part of that. In Euclid, we have robust community policing and engagement activities happening every day. We use data and crime analysis to focus on hotspot areas through a special community response unit that is effectively taking guns and drugs off the street and making an impact in our crime numbers. We've seen the numbers heading in the right direction. We've seen reductions in incidences of violence and crime from 2023 to 2024. And similarly, we've seen through April this year compared to last year a similar reduction. We're excited about some of the projects that are in the works that align really well with this office. Number one, just today before I came here, we kicked off our Strong Families, Strong Neighborhoods Collaborative. This is in partnership with Mendez Taylor, and thanks to the County Office of Children and Family Services Community-Based Services contract. So excited to bring this family collaborative initiative back to the city of Euclid. Really hoping to get, again, at those root causes, helping to prevent violence and build strong families, and build a strong network of community organizations and partners committed to working on this together. We're currently under construction with a long-time dream of a new rec and wellness center, really focusing on taking that holistic approach of health and wellness. We have an awesome recreation director, Max Stevens, who provides wonderful services and activities to our youth and seniors, but we haven't had our own place to do it. So really excited. It's under construction. It's in our municipal campus, and look forward to partnering with community organizations, not only to provide the wonderful athletic, recreation, community programming, but also really get at the mentoring, the tutoring, the health and wellness, and the crime reduction in the city of Euclid. Under construction, opening early 2026. And last Saturday, we had a community vision session through our HOPE Task Force that was funded in part through County Council. We appreciate County Council Sonny Simon and former Councilwoman Cheryl Stevens for helping to push that through. This brought community institutions and residents together to develop a plan for community-led action to support violence reduction. Facilitated by the Community Innovations Network at CASE, brought together many community partners to help determine what they can do. We know that the city can't do it alone. We know the police can't do it alone. We know we need community partners, and what an exciting group of residents who came together last Saturday to help develop that plan. So just a few things happening in Euclid, but we are grateful for the partnership with Cuyahoga County. We know nothing can get done well without strong partnerships. We believe that in everything we do. We look forward to being an active and engaged partner and building a safer community for all.
Thank you, Mayor Gail. It's a reminder as the mayors talk about the recreation programs, it's all in, right? We've got to have strong schools, strong libraries, strong local arts programs, strong recreation programs, and a facility like this, Mayor Morgan attests to it, and your ambition too, Mayor Gail. Of all those things, there's hardly any of those that don't exist in the city of Parma. It's the 7th largest city in the state. I got to give a shout out to your rec director too, Mickey Vittardi. We have an incredibly strong just glue in Parma with all they do with rec centers and programming, and that's Mayor Tim DeGeeter, who takes care of the 7th largest city in the state without a lot of fanfare, and I like to have him come up and talk about more what he's doing in Parma. Tim, I like those shoes too.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Executive Chris and Councilman Michael, for your leadership on this vital initiative and for bringing us together as partners across Cuyahoga County. I'm proud to stand here today with my fellow mayors, council members, community leaders in support of the new Office of Violence Prevention. In Parma, which our city motto is progress through partnerships, we know that community safety isn't something that government does alone. It requires collaboration, outreach, and a deep commitment to prevention. That's why this new countywide office is so important. By aligning resources and strategies across cities, we can better interrupt cycles of violence before they begin, reaching the root causes that affect so many of our neighborhoods. As we head into summer, a season filled with opportunity, but also risk for our young people, Parma is focused on providing safe, positive spaces for children and teens. From expanding recreational programs through our rec director, Mickey Vittardi, at our parks, pools, to supporting youth jobs and mentoring opportunities. We're also kicking off our inaugural collaborative Tri-City, which will include children from Seven Hills, Parma Heights, and Parma, the pre-K safety town, where children can be introduced to the law and learn about safety. We're working to make sure every young person has something productive to be a part of. Our police department is dedicated to community policing, prioritizing strong partnerships, trust, and collaboration with residents to build a safer, more connected community. As such, our police department's bicycle patrol unit is a symbol of our commitment to community-centered public safety and helps us prioritize visibility, approachability, and prevention over force. It gives our officers a unique opportunity to interact up close with all of our residents. Additionally, we recently strengthened partnerships with the county and Parma Heights to provide social worker and mental health support resources to residents in immediate crisis. These efforts align directly with the mission of this new office, and we welcome the opportunity to coordinate even on broader solutions. Together, we can build a safer, more supportive environment for every child in Cuyahoga County, and together we can turn prevention into lasting peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor DeGeeter. And you just got a sampling from East Cleveland to Euclid to Parma, and all our mayors who are here today in all our communities. Mayor Brennan, Mayor Burke, thank you all for being here too. Of the intentionality of keeping things safe and mostly with opportunities for kids. I'm going to transition. As a lot of you know, I often say we have the best public-private nonprofit partnership in the land. Our nonprofit partners are critical in all of this. I would be remiss, and I need to say it again, I saw her out here today. I need to I'm looking at her and point out Yvonne Pointer, who, just if I may, just indulge in a quick story. I mean, Yvonne, and if I have any of this wrong, you let me know, but she lost her daughter Gloria over 40 years ago to an abduction and to murder, and she stepped up and she did something about it. And she went in, and I remember this back at Cleveland City Hall. You started midnight basketball. Places like this, I think Michael White called upon you to do it, but places like this matter at all hours for kids as an alternative. But for 40 years, she's been a tireless advocate, and I'm going off script, but you know, you've gone as far as Oprah Winfrey Show and everywhere in between, sending out the clarion call that we need to do better. We're here today because of Gloria and because of you to do better. She runs a program, Positive Plus, and has been doing it for years in this community. She's an author, but you've been a voice in that community. I just want to say hats off to you. Would you wave a hand, Yvonne Pointer, for your advocacy? Thank you. It's the kind of nonprofit partners and citizen leaders like Yvonne that make things happen. And I'm singling out a few groups today, but we couldn't do what we do also without the Peace Keepers Alliance. And thank you, Maisha Watkins, who's here today too. Would you wave a hand? Thank you. You are the voices that are the reason we created the Office of Violence Prevention, and we will stay vigilant with your leadership and all of you. Kevin, I mentioned you from the Cavs, and everybody out here, thank you. It is now my opportunity to talk about some of our public and nonprofit partners and invite up first our Cuyahoga County Family and Children First Council, Director Robin Martin. We do this every summer as the summer approaches. We talk about alternatives and opportunities for youth, and that's what she's going to talk about. So Director Robin Martin, please.
Good morning. On behalf of the Family and Children First Council and the office, I would like to thank the county executive and the county council for their support of youth development over the last 20 years. Together, we all believe that children and youth should live in a safe community. Think about it. What can kids get into in 5 minutes if they are unsupervised? I remember when my son was younger, I knew if he was quiet for more than 5 minutes, I needed to go investigate. He is he's about to be 20, and I still need to investigate if I haven't heard from him over a period of time. For every child and youth in programming, there are 5 waiting for an open slot. Pre-pandemic, a little over 328,000, and that represents 18% of children and youth, kindergarten through graduation in Ohio, would have been enrolled in some type of programming if a slot had been available to them. Summer programming has a wide range of benefits, not just for the children, but for youth, for their parents, and their families. The After School Alliance for Ohio reports that 80% of working parents are able to work with peace of mind if they know that their child is in a safe place. Summer programming helps prevent summer learning loss because children can engage in programmings that include STEM, literacy, life skills, sports and other physical activities, leadership, and the arts. Our youth, 14 to 18, also have an opportunity for summer youth employment. So our speakers that are following me are actually going to talk about these programs. Should I turn it over to Craig? And I'm going to turn it over to Craig now. Our next speaker, Craig Dorn, is the president and CEO of Youth Opportunities Unlimited, known in the community as YOU. His organization, they are the leaders in our community for youth employment.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to thank Executive Ronayne and Cuyahoga County to bring us all together today for our shared goal of ensuring young people have safe, inspiring, productive opportunities this summer. I also wanted to give a very heartfelt thank you. We're able to do what we're able to do because Cuyahoga County, the County Council, invests $6 million in summer jobs for the community, which is amazing. I do want to call out 2 other really notable investors in this initiative. We have the City of Cleveland and our champion, Chief Sonia Pryor-Jones, and yep, and I do see Darlene from the Cleveland Foundation. Combine those entities, give another $2.5 million. We know the summer can be a vulnerable time for young people, and providing structure and positive engagement, that really is the key to success. You really can have a transformative experience in the summer. Not only are young people less likely to get involved in violence, they're more likely, as research has showed, a study we did with Case Western Reserve, they're more likely to graduate high school, more likely to go to college, and more likely to increase school attendance. Most notable of all, they are 50% less likely to get involved in the justice system. So that is a clear data point that the opportunity of a simple 6-week summer job has an amazing return on investment and bang for the buck. Prevention, youth violence prevention does start with opportunity. And as County Executive Ronayne said, the Office of Violence Prevention is forward-facing, and we're going to celebrate today, in addition to myself, what others are sharing and how prevention leads to opportunity. This summer, YOU, with all the money I just mentioned, will be serving nearly 2,000 young people at 400 work sites throughout just about every community in Cuyahoga County. So they'll be earning a paycheck, they'll be receiving financial literacy, they'll be learning how to plan ahead, they'll be getting a mentorship, they'll be learning accountability and communication. So these are all the factors, like why does a job relate to violence prevention? These are the conditions that reduce the likelihood getting involved in violence and increase the likelihood of long-term success. Again, it's the short term that they will not be involved in violence. Robin articulated it beautifully. Idle hands, we know the rest of that saying. But at the same time, there is really a hope that it gives them for their long-term success, not just this summer, but beyond. One thing I'd be remiss not to say, especially while we have the press here, is continued support is essential in the public-private partnership. And it is triply, quadruply essential today, the day that we just heard about the Congress and with passing Medicaid, and don't think that won't affect all of this. So it's really important that we come together even more so, because all of our young people deserve that opportunity to go from preparation and really to have a wonderful summer. I am very honored to introduce the next speaker, Nancy Mendez of Starting Point. Starting Point is the leading organization, certainly in our region, possibly in Ohio and the nation, on coordinating out-of-school time, which is what this is all about. So come on up, Nancy.
I'm a little taller than Craig. Just to shout out to the importance of jobs. Of course, it helps folks, youth, with employment opportunities. Sometimes it helps them figure out what they want to become in life. And I want to say, in my case, my first job was so awful, was so traumatic. I was working in a dish room that it was the fuel I needed to finish every paper, get everything in on time, because I knew I couldn't do that. So sometimes it's also just the fuel you need to remind you, I can do something else. So just a reminder of why we need to give all youth all kinds of opportunities. So again, my name is Nancy Mendez, and I am the CEO of Starting Point. At Starting Point, we proudly serve as Northeast Ohio's expert in childcare and out-of-school time. Each year, we connect more than 24,000 families, children, and providers to resources that help young people grow, thrive, and succeed, both in school and in life. We believe every child deserves access to safe, enriching environments beyond the school day, places where they can feel supported, inspired, and free to explore their potential. Research confirms what we already know and what we see every day. After school and summer programs are essential. They boost academic achievement, build confidence, foster connection, and shape character. They also serve as a powerful tool for violence prevention. The hours between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. are the most dangerous for youth. Without access to structured, supervised activities, young people are more vulnerable, more likely to be victims of violence, and drawn into risky behaviors. That's why we're especially proud of our partnership with Cuyahoga County's Family and Children First Council, which for 15 years has trusted Starting Point to lead the Cuyahoga County Out-of-School Time Network. Together, we supported after-school and summer programs for over 2,500 children and youth every year, right in their own neighborhoods. These programs are as diverse and dynamic as the young people we serve. Whether a child wants to paint a mural, join a basketball team, or build a business, there's a place for them in our network. And now finding those opportunities is easier than ever. We recently launched the After School Finder, an online tool that helps families locate trusted programs by neighborhood, age, group, cost, and interest. You can explore it at afterschoolfinder.org. That's afterschoolfinder.org. Because at the end of the day, This work isn't just about education. It's about prevention, safety, and long-term success. I want to thank all of our incredible partners here today and extend a deep gratitude to Cuyahoga County for shining a light on youth violence prevention. It truly takes all of us working together to change the life of a child. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Craig, and thank you, Robin. And speaking of Robins, it's now a pleasure to introduce Robin Stone, who's going to talk from her perspective as Youth Advocacy and Leadership Coalition educator for 4-H's program. Robin, please.
Resources like the Office of Violence Prevention are critical because they don't just respond to violence. They actively work to prevent it by addressing root causes like poverty, trauma, and lack of opportunity. These initiatives create safe spaces, connect people to resources, and build stronger, more resilient communities. They empower young people, families, and neighborhoods to take part in shaping safer environments. For many, they provide hope and a pathway towards healing and change the otherwise that might not exist. As someone that has spent 8 years coordinating the Youth Advocacy and Leadership Coalition and another 10 years watching the program continue to grow under the coordination of an alumni of the program, I have witnessed youth from across the county learn and grow together and discover the power of their own voice. Working with caring adults, youth explore and identify challenges in their communities and plan ways to overcome these challenges. The Youth Advocacy and Leadership Coalition meets youth where they are at and helps them get to where they want to be. We do this through mentorship, creating space for young people to lead, and helping them invest in their own growth. Angel Poole, our current coordinator, has come full circle, from being a youth impacted by this work to someone who now helps shape it. From the power of these initiatives, they don't just serve youth for a moment, they help shape who they become for their future. Thank you.
Well, thank you to all of our program partners today, and there are so many more in the audience today, and thank you to our mayors and to our county council. Judges, Judge Sheehan, we appreciate you being here today, and we saw Mr. Popovich here as well. We aim not to see our kids end up in juvenile court or in adult courts. We aim to have fulfilling, enriching experiences, and that's what everybody in these rows is all about. Well, I would say close, I want to say, again, thank you for your tireless efforts in the community, in your neighborhoods, on your block, to build better communities. In Cuyahoga County, we have an agenda, and it is a healthy Cuyahoga. That healthy Cuyahoga means health and wellness, and it starts with safety. It starts with enrichment. It starts with opportunity. And again, to our nonprofit partners who are tirelessly working with our municipalities on safe communities, we salute you. And the Office of Violence Prevention is meant to be literally a glue between you, to work with you to build a better future. You heard it today. It starts with youth programming, recreation programming, arts programming, jobs, everything that we can do to give a kid a chance like we probably had is going to make a better future. So we are intentional. We are focused, laser focused at Cuyahoga County to build that better future, to build that healthy Cuyahoga with our public-private nonprofit partners out here in the land. And we mean it. I saw Becky Rupert McMahon today. Thank you for Cleveland Leadership Center with Kevin and the team for stepping up and leading with programming that matters in our community. A thank you goes to every single person in every seat because you're here because you care about a safer future for our kids, for our adults, for our community. I think this room we're in is a testament to what can be if we put our resources together, and we know it's difficult. Resources are precious, but nothing's more precious than a person's life. In this hour that we've been together, we've lost 7 people to gun violence in this country by statistics, and one of those persons was a child. We've got to do better. We will do better. That's why we're here today with you in partnership in Cuyahoga County, in all the municipalities across the county. We're going to work with you on the Office of Violence Prevention to make it better in our community. Thank you very much for being here. Press, you can take questions here up front and take a look around the place. Thank you, Cuyahoga. Let's go.